Hey everybody, so if you ever wanted to know how to make your own soft pretzels, I'm going to show you how to. Welcome to my channel, you guys. I made super soft cinnamon sugar pretzels. First time doing it from scratch, homemade. I'm so impressed with this. So if you guys want to know how to do it, keep on watching. So we're going to jump right into it. First thing first, we're going to use 1.5 cups of warm water, 2.25 teaspoons of active yeast, and you want to basically keep stirring this up until you don't see the yeast anymore and it's all dissolved inside of the water. This may take a little second, so just be patient and don't try to rush it, but you definitely need to make sure it's all worked in and you don't see the yeast little pebbles anymore. So just keep on going. And as I see here, it looks like I think I got all of it. Just gonna keep stirring a little bit more just to make sure. I'm gonna stop stirring and see if I see any of them. I see a few here, so I'm just gonna stir it a little bit more until it's all nice and cleared and blended in, dissolved in, I should say. And actually we're going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar to the yeast. Stir that in. And then we're going to cover it and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's bubbly. So it should look like this. And then we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And then we're going to start adding our flour. So we're going to put in 4 cups of all-purpose flour. So I did 2 cups at a time. I'm going to mix that in. And then once I get that mixed, we'll then add in the other 2 cups of flour. Okay, got the flour in there. We're going to give this a mix and not mix it too much, just mix it in, and then add in 1 teaspoon of salt and just give it one more mix just to, get the salt mixed in there. And once we got it mixed, we're going to go ahead and knead this for about 5 minutes. Okay, now before you put your dough inside of a bowl, you want to spray it a little bit. I have some non-stick olive oil spray, or you can just put a little bit of, like olive oil and rub it around the bowl. But this will help the dough not stick to the actual bowl once it's time to, take it out the bowl. So I'm going to put it in here, cover it up for about an hour to an hour and a half. And then I'm just going to place it into the oven, which the oven is not on either. So after the time frame is up, my dough has risen. It looks like this. And you're just going to kind of like push it in to get the air out of it. And once you get the air out of it, you can remove it from the bowl and it's ready to be worked with. We can start making our pretzels. So just going to smooth out the dough to get it to like a circular motion, but spread it out some so that I'm able to cut it in my desired amount of pieces so that I'm able to make the pretzels, but also have them as even as possible. Once you cut them, and I'm cutting them into even amounts, as even as I can at this point. But once I'm able to cut them and get them into individual amounts, that's how you'll be able to make the pretzels and roll them out. And And once they're in their own little individual little balls, I take one and on my cutting board, which I wish I had a larger cutting board, but this one will do, just simply stretch it out and roll them. And as you see, it'll form like a snake looking type of dough. I'm sorry, that's the best way I can describe it, but you want to get it to probably like a good 20 inches long. And I'm just eyeballing this, but you can use some type of like measuring tape as well. And it's best if you can roll all of them out to the same length. That way your pretzels will come out even and more cohesive once they bake. But this time around, which is my first time doing it actually, I just eyeballed it, which it worked for me. And I did not have any complaints on how they turned out. And once I got them rolled into the pretzel shape, I just set them on a parchment paper on a pan. And I'm going to do it again, show you guys how I stretch out the dough. And then I just roll it out using the palms of my hands. And once it's to my desired length, I'm going to go ahead and take the ends of the dough and kind of like twist them around. It's like a backwards heart shape. Twist the ends and then just place them down. Once I get that pretzel shape, I'm sorry, it's very hard to explain, but you can see how I just did it in the camera. All right, this is how they're looking on the baking sheet. Got them all complete. Now the next step is to take some water, put it in a pot, and you want to get about 10 cups of water, and you're going to add in 2/3 cups of baking soda into that water. Once it gets boiling, you're then going to place your pretzels inside of the boiling water for only 30 seconds. Do not let them go longer than 30 seconds. You want to remove them at the 30-second mark and do that to all of your pretzels and place them back on your rack. Once you complete this step, you're going to beat up 1 egg and you're going to, over all of the pretzels, rub some of that egg onto the pretzel. This is what's going to give it that nice crispy look and also texture on top of the actual pretzel once it comes out of that oven. So get that egg mixture all over all the pretzels as you see me doing here. And after you get the egg mixture on all of the pretzels, you're going to bake the pretzels on 450 degrees for 12 minutes in the oven. And while the pretzels are in the oven, I'm going to get my cinnamon sugar mix all together. So it's a 1/2 cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Mix that all up. And then you have your cinnamon sugar mix. Should look just like this. All right, and after 12 minutes, this is how the pretzels come out the oven, looking very, very good. And I was thoroughly impressed on how they came out. Again, this is my first time doing it. I did melt 4 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to put that butter all over our pretzels because that butter is going to help the cinnamon sugar adhere and stick to the actual pretzel. And also the butter, of course, is going to give it a bonus added flavor as well. All right, and once we're done, we're going to get these pretzels in that cinnamon sugar so they can get covered and become cinnamon sugar soft pretzels. For this one, I did add a little bit more butter on top of it so that I was able to get a little bit more of that cinnamon sugar on the pretzel because I wanted to be all the way thoroughly covered. And by doing this, it definitely helped. All right, I was done putting all the cinnamon sugar on all the pretzels, and this is how they are looking. Look how good they are. They look so tasty, and they were so tasty. Here's a close-up of another pretzel. Look at the shape of it. It looks really great. I'm thoroughly impressed, you guys. This is my first time doing these from scratch, and I loved it. Everyone in my family loved it, and it definitely gave Auntie Anne's pretzels a run for their money. This is my son trying out the pretzel for the first time. He absolutely loves pretzels. He's not too much of a cinnamon sugar fan, but I said, come on, try these, and he was like, yeah. He actually really did love them. And of course, I had to try them. So this is my first time trying it, and I'm like, ooh. so impressed with myself. So let's go ahead and taste it. And y'all, I was like, what? Oh my gosh, tastes amazing. Very good. And we have one more taste tester here trying it out, and he loved it as well.